So the multiplier effect, space plus angle is good, space time angle is better. So this is multiplication instead of addition. Space plus angle, I would think of as like you created space and stopped and thought about it, or the next action happened in the game, and then you created an angle. And you did both, but you didn't do them at the same time in a way that created, not only 1 plus 1 is 2, but now you did 2 plus 2 is 4. You are multiplying, right? And as we stack all these up, that effect just gets bigger. So, like if we did, I created some space one play, and then I created an angle the next play, and then I created pretty good timing with my teammate on another play. Yeah, that's great. But if you did space times angle times perfect timing, it feels amazing. Like that's the play where you're like, let out a holler, you let out a whoop because it felt so good in sync with your teammate. And then again, if you add the effect of speed onto this, right? If you have space and angle and timing and you make a quick decision, then you really become unstoppable. And so that's what I'm going to show you on video here toward the end of the three NBA teams that I think represent this the best. Is like they really could have scored four different times anywhere in the possession, and they chose to continue multiplying their advantage until the defense was just so far behind that they had no chance. And that's what I look at as being unstoppable. So, group improvisation. This is like the ideal that I'm always trying to move toward. And I think about, team chemistry is something that can evolve just from a lot of volume over a long period of time. So, like, if you have a group of, let's say, third graders that play together through third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, and ninth grade, they get to freshmen, like that freshman team, if all 10 or 12 of those players have played together that whole time, they're going to be really hard to stop, right? They're like 7 years into team chemistry. And just by volume, they're going to get pretty good at knowing each other and anticipating and everything else that goes with it. So I think of the shortcut to team chemistry as having these advantages in mind, what we're trying to achieve, and then also having our kind of our core principles, right? Our principles of attacking. So like drive and kick is a principle. When he drives right, I move right. That's a way to simplify all teams' offense and create the ability to anticipate. So this is my definition of team chemistry is simplicity times the ability to anticipate, right? So you could have a simple offense, but if we're not working on the four advantages all the time, then we're not going to really create an advantage and the ability to anticipate where and when our player is going to need us. So like timing, for one, is really difficult if we have different ideas about what should be going on. We don't have good core principles that are simple. We got a lot of complex ideas. Once in a while, they might overlap, and like we connect with a teammate that feels really good, but it's like, that was random once per season that happened versus consciously, intentionally setting this up so that we have a really simple operating system and we have an incredible ability to anticipate where and when our teammates need us, where and when our teammates will be open, and that allows us to kind of manufacture team chemistry without having that 7 years of playing year round with the same group of guys to really form team chemistry. So on the contrast of this, most teams have the opposite. They have a really complex offense. And this I would point toward coaches. Like they have this huge scheme in their brain about all these really cool ideas and things that really don't fit together. And they're complex, they're contradictory, they're often confusing. Like their playbook is, thick with two C's. They get really excited about plays and a thick playbook, but all that does is convolute this whole idea. It makes it really complex and confusing for players. And then they don't have any consistent principles because they're pulling plays from over here and this one on YouTube and this one from my high school coach and that one from the NBA. All of them are contradictory. And so there's no underlying principle that says drive right, move right. It's like in this play, you're supposed to screen Johnny and then come back out. And that player is supposed to screen Johnny and roll in. And to the coach, that makes sense. To the player, you're telling them opposite things on opposite plays, and there's no consistency. And so they rarely get to the point of really good enablement of anticipation, and they very rarely have good timing. So very poor timing is kind of the normal. So we're got complex offense that doesn't make sense and not no consistent principles to underlie it, and very poor timing, and therefore we're pretty easy to guard. Defenses can pick you apart because they see the pattern coming, they see a little bit confusion from the players trying to run this complex offense. There's no consistent principles, so we're just discombobulated is my favorite word for that. The offense is just a little bit scattered, not in sync, not synchronized, and no team chemistry. And then they have very poor timing. Like that guy screened too early, so the cutter was out and waiting for the pass, and then the pass got stolen because we threw it to a standing still target, right? Or we were supposed to have this action first that came to a dribble handoff or a ball screen, and the ball handler was expecting the screener to arrive or the handoff to arrive 2 seconds earlier. He's like waiting for the ball to get to him before he can use it. And so all that stacks up to be easy to guard.